A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. Singapore. Polls opened Saturday in Singapore's general election, marking a pivotal moment for Prime Minister Lawrence Wong as he seeks to solidify his leadership in the face of growing public discontent. The People's Action Party, PP, which has ruled Singapore for an impressive 66 years, is expected to maintain its dominance. Yet the election is being closely scrutinized as citizens express their frustrations over stringent government control and skyrocketing living costs. Wong, a U.S.-educated economist and current finance minister, has called for a strong mandate from the electorate to guide the trade-dependent nation through turbulent economic waters exacerbated by U.S. tariff hikes under former President Donald Trump. As the government has revised its trade forecasts and warned of a potential recession, Wong's leadership is being put to the test. Political expert Bridget Welsh commented, "This election is not just a measure of PM Wong's support but also a reflection of the evolving political landscape in Singapore, with a younger generation increasingly embracing alternative voices." Wong, age 52, succeeded Lee Hsien Loong, who stepped down last year after 2 decades in power. Lee remains in the cabinet as a senior minister, but his departure marks the end of a family dynasty that began with his father, Lee Kuan Yew, Singapore's first leader, who transformed the island from a colonial backwater into one of the world's wealthiest nations. With nearly 2.76 million eligible voters, the stakes are high. Compulsory voting means that every citizen's voice counts, and the PP has already secured 5 parliamentary seats uncontested. As the clock ticks down to 8 p.m., when voting concludes and results are expected to be announced, the atmosphere is charged with anticipation. While the PP is perceived as a bastion of stability and prosperity, rising discontent over issues such as income inequality, unaffordable housing, and restrictions on free speech has begun to erode its grip on power. In the last election, the PAP's share of the popular vote fell to a near-record low of 61%, down from nearly 70% in 2015. Although the party retained 83 out of 93 parliamentary seats, the opposition made significant gains, claiming a record 10 seats. Young voters, who represent about a quarter of the electorate, are increasingly open to the idea of political diversity and competition. Law professor Eugene Tan from Singapore Management University noted that many younger voters are drawn to the Workers' Party, WP, the largest opposition party, which is fielding 26 candidates this election. Wong has made efforts to rejuvenate the PAP, introducing 32 new candidates as several veterans retire. He has actively engaged younger voters on social media, promising a more inclusive and balanced Singapore. However, with some of his ministers facing stiff competition from WP candidates, Wong has cautioned that increased support for the opposition could undermine the PAP's ability to navigate the economic challenges ahead. Political analysts suggest that a decline in popular support for the PP could pose a significant challenge to Wong's leadership. Bridget Welsh stated, "Expectations are to not dip below 60% in the popular vote. This is a critical threshold. Improvements would empower PM Wong, while a poor performance could lead to questions about his leadership." As the day unfolds, the outcome of the election will not only determine the composition of Singapore's parliament, but also signal the public sentiment towards the PP and its new leader. With the backdrop of a contentious political climate, including a feud within the Lee family and corruption scandals involving former officials, the election serves as a litmus test for the ruling party's future. Voters have expressed a desire for more transparency and accountability, with the WP campaigning on issues related to the rising cost of living. Despite the PAP's significant financial support measures, including cash handouts and grocery vouchers, many citizens are calling for a more balanced political landscape. As one voter articulated, "Every election is crucial as it reminds the government that the people still have a voice in shaping our future." As the polling stations close and results begin to trickle in, all eyes are on Singapore to see how the electorate responds to the challenges facing their nation and whether they are ready to embrace change. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.